Alright YouTube, I'm going to do a quick video on the clanking that's coming from a Peloton. How I fixed it before was I pulled off this crank arm on the right hand side, and underneath there's a bottom bracket nut and it had come loose. So this is going to be the video on taking this thing apart. It's pretty quick. I'm not a professional, so please don't comment on anything to be mean. I'm just gonna do this, and you're welcome to watch or not watch. Alright, so starting off by taking off some Phillips screws. There's 5 of them. One here, one down here, and then there's one here, and then there's one down here. Once you get these 3 screws out, these 5 screws, sorry, then this chain guard will come off right here. The 2 long screws go into the front, and the three shorter ones go on the back side over here. Then you got to turn this wheel here, and you got to pull this band off. I got to loosen up my my resistance. I had it all the way down because I tried to tighten up the pedals to see if that was what was making the clanking, but it turns out it wasn't. It wasn't this. If it's inside here. So then I'll crank it. It doesn't matter which way, you can crank it either way. But as you're cranking it, I'm gonna crank it forward, try to pull it off this way. You gotta be very careful because this thing's got a lot of tension on it. If you get your fingers caught in here, it's gonna cut your fingers. Alright, so that's off. See, it's got 3 wheels now. Next thing you're gonna need is a crank puller for that. Got this here from Hex Tool. Cost me probably about 20 bucks or so from Amazon. And it comes off with a 8mm hex wrench right there. Got that from Amazon as well. Take this off. Bam, that's off. This is what that looks like. 8mm hex. Then this crank removal tool will go in there. This thing's got to be screwed all the way in, or you can strip the threads. And you'll have to buy a new crank arm. I got a crescent wrench in here. Yep. See if this is big enough. Yes. Just gotta make sure it's in there. It's in there. By the way, I'm no bike mechanic. I just have to be kind of handy, so if you're kind of handy, then you can kind of do this without too much trouble, too much money invested in it. Alright, that crank arm's seated all the way down. Now it takes some force to pull this bad boy off. There it comes. That's it. Crank arm is off. Now, as you can see, this thing's loosened up. Again, I tightened this thing up, I swear, maybe 6 rides ago. Where's my light? Come here, light. So, these blue dots are supposed to be lined up. What I did was I took the bottom bracket tool and I tightened it up to here, and 6 rides later it's come loose and I've got this cracking noise. So now I've got to tighten it up with bottom bracket tool from Park Tools, BBT 18. I had to adjust it. You see how it's shiny metal? I had to kind of shave it down a little bit so it fits in these notches. They put like a powder coating on it, and it makes it just a little bit too thick to fit into the notches. And when I shaped it down a little bit with the metal cutting wheel and my air compressor, now it fits in there perfect. But instead of just tightening it up this time, I'm going to put some Loctite on it and see if the Loctite will do a better job of keeping it still. Alright, so I started to loosen this up right here. Turn that, and it started to make a little crunchy noise, and whenever you hear things making crunchy noise, that's not good. So on the other side of this contraption is the other side of the thing here. Here it is. So it's got this, I had to take the other crank arm off, but it's got this plastic cover. It just pulls right off. I stuck a pair of needle nose pliers in and pulled it off. And it's got this retaining nut here that goes on there. It's like a 55 millimeter, I do believe, is the measurement that I got. And what I use to twist it off, it fits in the notches right here by my finger. There's like 8 notches or so. I got this off Amazon for like 20 bucks as well. I had to grind, just like the others, I had to grind down the notch a little bit in order to have it to fit in the notch. So that was on there, and to get that off, you have to go this way with it in order to loosen it up. So once you get that off, kind of learning as I go. I ain't scared though. Then this should come off. Well, just hand tight in there. And this is where the clicking's coming from. Let's see what they got. Vortex ISD-12 ISIS overdrive, left, right, 113L. So I'm going to try and put some, there's already Loctite on there, but apparently it's not holding very good for whatever reason. It's the orange kind too. I bought the orange kind from the local automotive parts store. So I'll put some more on there and we'll see if it helps hold it in there. I hope so, because there's no way I'm going to keep taking this thing apart. I'm going to Bondo it in or JB weld it or something. Alright, I'm going to put some stuff on, so I'm going to pause this. Alright, I poured me some orange thread locker on there. Tighten it up counterclockwise to tighten it on the drive side, as they say in the bicycle videos. This is the drive side. Big fat crescent wrench. Alright, let's see if we can make the blues match. Yep, dead on there. That's where we'll leave it. Alright, this will have to set. It says it cures in full harden in 24 hours. So, alright. I guess you can watch me put the other side back together, since you didn't get to see me take it apart. There's that retaining nut that's got like 5 or 8. Stupid tripod. Come on, baby. I ain't got enough hands to do this. All right. Retaining nut. Keep the spindle from this thing. Bearing cartridge from loosening up, but it doesn't seem to do a good job. And it's got nicks in it. This is not from me. It came that way. I don't know who put it together or whatever. And then this cover goes over top of it. Let's see if I can get this crank thing out here. I'm gonna pause it so you don't have to watch me. All right, I got my bottom bracket tool, or my crank removal tool out. Now you get to put the crank on. And this right here is actually what pushes the crank in, makes it a super tight fit. My 8mm Park tool wrench that I got from Amazon for 20 bucks. And if you're wondering how I learned how to do all this stuff, it's not because I went to school for it or anything, but if you go to Park Tool, they got all kinds of YouTube videos, and I just watched a bunch of those videos and kind of was doing what they said to do. They don't have one specifically for Peloton, but I mean, parts is parts. And I think that dude said put something like 15 foot-pounds of torque or something like that. Just put it on there good and tight. That'll do. All right, there's one on there. Now we'll do the other side, same thing. Yes. I hope you're not catching my face in any of this. I'm a pretty ugly dude. Alright, where's my crank arm? Here it is. This is the drive side, or the right crank arm. Alright, so these have to be opposite. You know, it's hard to pedal when they're both in the same direction. So I'll put that up. Alright, got that on there. Yeah, I can't believe that daggone bottom bracket nut, after just a few rides, it came loose again. That's disheartening. Comes loose again, I'll see if there's some sort of industrial thread locker. I don't know. Because I doubt I'll ever have to change that bearing cartridge. I mean, maybe I will, but I doubt it. Alright, that's good and tight. Now we gotta get this thing on without cutting my fingers off. Alright, we're just gonna put it right here on the edge. Working. I think the last time I took it apart, I actually went down. I went the other way with it. I went like this with it. That seems to be working much better. Maybe not. A little more there, right on the very edge. I think I got it. What in tarnation? Came off of the bottom somehow. Weirdo. Then you gotta push it over. I'm gonna push it on the bottom. There it goes. All right. Looks like it's in there. Feels right, looks right. This thing is this guard right here. Belt guard. Alright, I'm not going to make you watch me put 5 screws in this, but let's hope that thread locker holds that bottom bracket nut tight so my bearing cartridge doesn't keep coming loose. If anybody knows anything better how to keep that thing from loosening up, man, comment and let me know. Thanks.